Speaker, on the issue of words, of course, something which is regularly rubbish is the issue of incitement and the increasing amounts of incitement we're seeing from the Palestinian Authority and on media such as Palestinian TV, some of which has been referenced by those committing knife attacks on innocent civilians. Last week I spent a visit to a Jewish school in Brussels where I heard some appalling stories of anti-Semitism in Europe being perpetrated, where people deliberately conflate Jews and Israel. Will the Minister condemn not only the incitement we're seeing out of the Palestinian Authority, but also the sort of attacks which we're seeing in Europe as a result of this?
Well, firstly, I absolutely agree with him that what we're seeing on normal Israelis able to go around their business, but then subject to some of the brutality and the murder that we're seeing is unacceptable. And Israel has the right, in fact I'd go more than that, to say the obligation to defend its citizens. And what we're seeing is the anti-Semitism there, or the reaction from that, often through websites, through Facebook and so forth, then reappear in Europe or closer to home. And we've been working hard with our international colleagues to make sure, and this is something that the Prime Minister is very committed with, to make sure that we stamp out anti-Semitism no matter where it is.
Speaker, a clear majority of Israelis consistently support setting up a Palestinian state alongside Israel. But does the Minister agree that actions like Hamas rebuilding the terror tunnels to mount attacks on Israeli civilians from Gaza makes this less and less attainable?
The Honourable Lady is absolutely right. What we've seen is some of the developments. It seems like déjà vu in the sense we're going around this boy again. Rebuilding of those tunnels themselves, aggravations, then the actual missiles start to actually fly. Where does that actually take us? This is not a confidence-building measure, in the same way that building settlements is not a confidence-building measure. And we need to make sure that we empower the Palestinian Authority to make sure it has the ability to look after and take responsibility for the governance of Gaza. That is the way forward.
Sir Eric Pickles.
I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker. But sure, there is a big contrast in the growth of extremism. The Israeli authorities deal with Jewish extremism. They investigate, they prosecute, and they condemn.
Yes.
Whereas extremists, violent extremists, so far as the Palestinian Authority, they name schools after them, they name sporting events after them, they glorify them on television. Will my honourable friend take this opportunity to condemn absolutely the attitude of the Palestinian Authority and urge them to cease this senseless encouragement to violence?
Well, my honourable friend makes a very powerful argument, and it's important that we actually see that there are affirmative actions on both sides to reduce tensions. But I raised the specific matter of inflaming, of using words. The health minister in the Palestinian Authority, for example, it was unhelpful in the comments that she made recently in actually condoning the attacks that are actually taking place. This takes us into the wrong direction. So we should be doing things that refrain, that make steps that actually encourage others then to act in consequence of that.